Okay, where do we start? First things first, there is a part 4. Although we've now been to the dentist and made it back home. Second of all, you're probably thinking, Swiss, those are some killer shades that you're wearing. Where did you get them from? Well, just before I started streaming, I was just looking around where I put my stuff down when I got in, and I picked them up and I thought, hang on a minute, I could have sworn that I accidentally broke my sunglasses the other day by standing on them. What are these sunglasses? And I think I've just realised that I may have accidentally robbed the dentist. That when they sit you down in the chair and you've got the big bright light over you, they give you like the blackout shades to put on while they're doing the business. I think I must have picked them up along with my stuff when I left. And so I've accidentally stolen a pair of blackout shades from the dentist. Hey, it was private. It costs. There's got to be some perks. So I thought, yeah, go on. I'll wear these for the rest of the stream. Why not? I'll give them back. The dentist is right around the corner from where I live. So, they've probably got a whole cardboard box full of them. What I wanted to do, given that I was back, and yes, I have had my fillings and all the rest of it, and my mouth is still not quite numb, but there's something going on there. Since I was back in, I said to you guys in one of the previous videos. Now, some of you might be watching the stream live and you haven't seen the earlier videos, so you can catch up. But I said to you in one of the previous videos, I might show off to you just what I'd been dabbling around with in HTML. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm plugging you into like the nerve center here. Apollo said white or silver metal fillings. I mean, when we say silver, I'm not sure if it's like, premium grade silver, like, I don't know, do they count it in carats or whatever like that? But it's definitely the more sort of metallic-y one. I don't think it was the white one. Hello, Mr. Swiss, says Dr. Richmond Awesome in bed. Right, so how do I do this? It's been a little while since I've done it. So we want to share the screen, and I want to share with you ChatGPT. Aha, okay, here we are. Right then. So if I move this over, does that help us a little bit? I suppose it does. So you can see this is my nerve center here. I've got all these nice little projects and bits and bobs. So if I open this up in Canvas, so this is the latest compile of the game. And it is it's just shy of about 1,000 lines long. Just shy of 900 lines long in HTML. And it's pretty basic so far, but it does have some functionality to it. So I'll explain things as we go. But without further ado, let's run the code. Let's see what we've got. This is, oh no, is there a way I can get that to be full screen? Probably not. How can we fix this? Can I make the screen bigger here? I'll just make the screen bigger here. You guys can see me still, I'm sure. Okay. Pyramid Farm, working title. Click to start. And the whole shtick with Pyramid Farm actually is back when I was at university doing games design. We had every year we had the Global Games Jam, which was like an event where you get like it was like 24 or 48 hours to make a game with people, and you just had to cram it as much as you could. And I always used to set up my own little independent projects parallel with my friends who are working and stuff. But I was like, nope, I'm happy doing my own thing. And I'd open up UE4 and I'd load in a great big pyramid, and I'd make a game called Pyramid Farm. And I never got very far with it. It would just be little pyramids floating around in a field, and you could walk into them and bump them around. And sometimes I put faces on them. So as a little in-joke to amuse myself, this game is Pyramid Farm as it begins. So you start off in a new game in a room. This is you, and you use the mouse to click around where you go, and you can see it like creates little paths for you to follow as you go. And you're vaguely, you know what, the sprite for the player does look a little bit more human than it did. It used to look like a little floating hat, and now it looks like a little egg person that's missing their arms. But we're moving in the right direction. So you start around in this little room, and as you can see, we've got two other little egg people that you can talk to. There are NPCs. So we click over to there. Mysterious Farmer says, fresh face. Take this pyramid link. Treat it well. You received Pirabud. These are all names, by the way, that the AI has come up with. I haven't named any of these yet, so it could be prone to change. But look, you've got the functionality of a little menu. Look at that. You click on your guy, and it comes up with a little menu. This is a Pokemon clone ripoff, by the way. I'm not claiming any originality in design. So you click on this, your pyramids, and it tells you who your pyramid is and what stats they've got. You've got an inventory, which is currently empty. You've got options, which don't exist yet. You've got a save function, which does actually work, which is pretty cool. So we got our little pyramid. So now this little thing here is grass, or grass, as we say up north. The grass rustles, and it jumps you straight into a battle. So you can see the sprites are very basic. Pirabud does not look like a pyramid. He looks like a squashed orange, and this sandling that you fight does not look like anything. He looks like two little strips of color. But again, prototype. We're not overloading this thing. All of the code for this is contained within a single HTML file, so we're just keeping it nice and simple to begin with. But you've got your basic options there: attack, item, info. What's info? Oh, is info just telling me what my HP and moves are? Yeah, okay. And run. We don't have any items yet, but we can attack. So we'll use peck, and then we get attacked. We'll use sand puff, a puff of sand, and then we attack again, and they're defeated. We win the battle. We got 25 experience points, and ta-da! There we are. So now our little pyramid bro, he's down to half of his health, but fear not, because this little thing in the corner here is a little bed that you can sleep in to heal your pyramid. And there we are. Look at that, back up to full health. So I'll show you a couple more things that we've added in here. We've got a second room that you can access via a ladder in the corner here. You go chat to this dude in purple, and he will say, "You look like you need supplies. Here, take this HP recover. Come back when you've used it." So that actually adds. Oh, yeah, okay. So little glitches and stuff and bugs popping up as we go. So one of them that I've discovered is that when you're in the second room, in certain circumstances, your menu only displays inventory and exit game. Oh, what's going on there? Yep, that's our inventory. Yeah, definitely need to have a little look at that at some point and fix it. But nonetheless, we have this healing item in our inventory now. So we can go back to this room. We'll chat to this dude who's like an NPC. Oi, battle time, he says. Let's see what your Pirabud can do. So now when we fight him, we've just taken some damage, and we can use our HP recover to heal ourselves. Not that it made much difference. Oh, we got killed. You blacked out. Not really. You're whisked back, and then you just pop back up where you were before with a little bit of health missing, but you can go heal up there. And that's pretty much what we've got so far. These blocks here are allegedly some sturdy doors that will lead somewhere soon. I'm still figuring out exactly what I want to be doing with it. Still figuring out where I'm leading it, whether I'm going to have just like multiple rooms and it's like a dungeon crawly kind of thing, or whether I want to have you start off inside a little building and then there's actually an overworld you go out to. A lot of it I'm still trying to figure out. Basically how much the AI can handle in one go in terms of code that it's reading and code that it's editing, and also just how much you can force into a HTML file before that starts getting a little bit bulky. So it's still a lot that I'm figuring out. It's still a work in progress, but nonetheless, I'm quite impressed with that. I've been messing around with stuff for the past couple of months, but this is the one that I've kind of stuck with for more than a few days. And basically every day I'm just popping into it. I'm thinking of one or two little improvements to make to it, fix this bug, add this function. I'm giving very, very specific instructions to the AI to add the particular things I've asked for, copy over all of the rest of the existing code, do not change the functionality of anything else that's already in there. And then it thinks about it and it compiles, and it takes a couple minutes for it to all be typed out again. And then I test it out, and more often than not, it works. As soon as it works, I save that as a brand new version. That's our new anchor version to continue on with. Usually every time we add a new bit of functionality, like a new room or a new NPC or whatever else, there's usually a new bug that pops along with it as well. Like you add an NPC and then you get stuck talking to them and you're not able to move off talking to them. You add a new room, but the but if you die in the room, you respawn in the different room. You add inventory to the menu, which is great and it functions, but then for some reason when you're in the second room, it only shows the inventory on the menu. So there's little things that pop up like that. But it's quite a unique experience doing this, because it's not coding in the sense of I'm coding it. You know, I could not lay claim to being a coder of any description, but there's more to it than simply just saying click, click, hey, IA. God, this dental work has frazzled my brain. God, AI, make me a game. You know, there's a degree of teaching yourself how to teach it to do what you want. But it's a bit of fun. And as I say, once I've kind of got that as a proof of concept worked out, and it's a roughly working game, I'll stick it up somewhere for you guys to try out if you want, and then we might move on to doing something a bit more Swiss or politics related. I've always had an idea of wanting to make some kind of like an RPG game where you're an MP in Parliament, and you've got to like slowly level up. Either you're in opposition or you're in government, but as you advance, you're like a backbencher, and then like a junior minister, and then like a secretary of state, and then the prime minister. And, you know, there's a whole lot of stuff that would go into making something like that. But it's something that I've always had the idea of wanting to do for a long while. And I think maybe we're just approaching the point where it's within reach for a person like me who's got a casual knowledge with this stuff, and casual amounts of time available to do it as well. I mean, when it comes to actual game design, the process of designing a game, when you're thinking out the mechanics, when you're thinking out the routes that you want to take, the player flow, how everything's going to end up working, that I'm fairly familiar with. I mean, I did it at college and university, but I never... The problem is, even the software that we were using, which was Unreal Engine in university, I allowed myself to get rusty on that after uni by not using it for years and years. So it's a funny one. I'm kind of coming back into making games a little bit fresh. I'm kind of coming into it with some prior experience as well, and I've got a big hefty bit of help from a lovely AI model that I'm paying £20 a month for, which helpfully types out all the code for me and usually gets it right. So we'll see what can be done with it, I suppose. Claire King says, Swiss, have you lost weight? You look awful. It looks like a bad Pokemon clone. Well, I'll take all of that in the spirit it was intended. And also hope you had a good summer. Well, thank you very much. Well done, guys. If you have spent the last hour or so of your life making your way through all of the various parts of the Swiss reports, and you've ended up on this live video, then congratulations. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. And I will see you all soon. And as I said in one of the previous videos, if you have any comments or suggestions about the little game that I'm working on, then I'm absolutely happy to hear them. Until then, catch you all later. No. He remembers at the last minute there's one more thing. He hasn't shilled for his artwork that he's attempting to sell online, has he? So we'll give that a quick little look in as well. Yeah, over on eBay here, we have four items for sale at the moment. Four paintings. I've listed them. Where are they at? They're all between about 10 and 20 quid. And some of them are on canvas board. One of them's on an actual canvas. But it's just some stuff that I've made over the past few weeks. And partly I'm listing them. Personally, I'm quite happy to sell stuff cheaper than this. I'm really quite happy to just cover my costs of like the canvases and the art and everything, but I'm testing the water to see whether these are prices that people would actually pay for them or not. So you never know. But again, I'll stick a link to the eBay in the description of this video. So if you want to go and check out any of those, there's also a Facebook page called Dilworth Art as well, where I occasionally stick pictures up of the stuff that I'm doing. So if any of that interests you and is to your aesthetic tastes, then by all means go and take a look. All right, then. I think we really are done. Thank you very much, folks. Catch you all later. Ta-ta.